See, now for the people who are watching the replay, they're like, oh, they're so buttoned up.
All right, so is it recording? I'm hoping.
I think so.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're so very sorry. We just got done with another meeting right before this one, and we were running just a wee bit late. So that's
story of my life. Always a couple steps behind.
So we have a lot to cover tonight, and we know that there's a lot of questions as well. And so we're going to just do our best. We're going to, obviously, because of your computer going down, you're trying to reboot back up, but we're going to go ahead and just kind of be cozy here and share the screen and walk through. So let's go ahead and talk through our agenda for this evening. So we're going to go ahead and talk about our current promotions, so the things that are currently happening right now and some of the things that are going to be happening in the days ahead. We're going to talk about product updates, the transition plan, so that's coming up on 11/1, and some reminders, some really important reminders, because there's a lot happening in the next few days. We're going to talk about going forward, moving forward, how and what you need to know, and the Journey Rewards Redemption, so that's the modified Journey Rewards program that we've shared with you. So we have some updates. We're going to give you a kind of a high overview of how that's going to work. And yes, we're going to talk a little bit about the tax questions that have been coming up. Again, we're probably going to continue to say you're going to want to contact your tax advisor. However, we're going to cover a couple of things that that are been coming up on a regular basis. And then we're going to give you some sneak peeks into November. They've not seen these, right?
Have you? I don't think you have.
I looked at it so quickly, I don't even know that I really know what was coming up. And then some upcoming training. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to scroll down here in regards to questions. You're still trying to log in? All right, I scrolled too far. Sorry, guys. Boy. Product updates.
I literally cannot join this.
All right,
okay.
So let's go ahead and talk about some of the product updates. So you know a little bit about Platinum 6, so I'm going to have you chat about it.
I can talk this stuff. So obviously lots of questions about the Platinum 6. I get updates pretty much daily, and one thing that so just for those that are like, what are you guys talking about? We've had an unusual high number of our cutting plates break in that machine. We've never ever seen plates break before on any of our machines, Spellbinders or FSJ. So we knew something was going on here. And so what we have done is we basically stopped selling both the machine and the replacement plates. And we have done a ton of testing, and this is like there's testing internally that we do with the machine, but also sending the plates out to a lab to basically have them examine the composition, things like that. And so while there's no difference in the types of plastic that's used, there was a difference in the way it was manufactured to create basically a plate that's a little bit more brittle than a normal cutting plate. Manufacturer acknowledged this through some pushing, and they are starting to manufacture the replacements now. I can't give you a timeline yet. I don't know for sure, but that's in motion. Second, we are continuing though to test the platform and the machines and even some different sandwiches to ensure there aren't any other issues. The one kind of anomaly to all of this is that we sent a few folks Spellbinders plates, just plain clear Spellbinders plates, and those broke in a machine. So we cannot figure out for the life of us if it was a plate issue, we get it, but if Spellbinders plates should not have broken in that machine. Obviously, a lot of things can contribute to that, so we're trying to really get to the bottom of that. When the replacement plates come in, we will be sending those to everyone who ordered either a machine and or the plates, and until then, the machine and the plates will not be sold. You may have questions about how that impacts your brand new coach. Sorry, that has once the 50% off coupon, we'll make concessions for that person, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. I don't know why it won't let me into the Bloomcast.
Well, let's go ahead and continue forward from here.
Yeah. So then the next thing are these pouches. And the pouches, this is something that's new. I have been meaning to draft an email to the people who purchase these. And
sorry, so sorry.
It's okay. I haven't had a chance to get to it yet, so I'll kind of talk about it here. But then if someone did order these, they will get a dedicated email to explain this a little bit more. But basically, you've probably seen some chatter about the large storage pouches. Those were items that were on back order for way too long of a time. And the reality is we got them in, and then we shipped them out. We got an air freight of them in. We shipped them out to folks, and then folks were like, this is tight. This doesn't feel right. We went back to our pre-production sample. It was fine. and then again, talked to the manufacturer, pushed a little harder, and then they said, oh yeah, your pre-production sample was fine, but your actual production was done on an old tool, a tighter, more narrow tool, and hence why we have the problems we have now. So they are currently in the process of remaking those pouches. I cannot give you a timeline for sure on that yet. They said it's 30-35 days production, plus then we have to get them here, plus then we have the customs issues. So we're probably looking, unfortunately, at a December timeline for those. But anyone who has ordered them and they still haven't received their back order, or if you were on that initial, you did receive the tight ones, you will be getting replacements. If you feel this is crazy, and I would understand, and I don't want them anymore, and I want a refund, then contact Coach Support, let them know, and we will refund you on that. Do that before the end of the month, though. But they will come in soon, November, December, and we will get them out to you, and they will be on the updated tool, which is a lot more roomy to allow for those stamps to fit.
So if you have customers who have purchased these and you're aware of that, please contact them and let them know about the situation. And just like for you, we'll be happy to replace those or give a refund if they don't want to wait any longer.
Yep,
all right. So we'll go ahead and move forward.
And then the last piece here is that I know there's always a lot of talk about when's the product availability report. It usually is updated on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. I have received the update. I have to go through and kind of analyze things and take a look at stuff, and then that should be updated by tomorrow morning. We did get quite a few stamps in this week, which is great. And so we're going to, of course, turn those around as quickly as we can. So that's kind of just an update on the kind of the lay of the land on some of those products and some of that warehouse stuff.
So I have a question in regards to, and some of this we haven't even really kind of talked, so I might put you on the spot
please,
here. In regards to the product availability report, one of the questions that has come up on Coach Connection is the fact that our communication is going to be different. We don't have the Coach Dashboard come 11/1 in the same way. We have the Coach Dashboard, but eventually we're not going to have that. So how will we work availability for that? What is something that they need to be aware of?
Well, your spoiler alerting later in the thing.
Okay, then that is.
No, I mean the way the website functions with regards to back orders is going to change pretty significantly, and I'm just going to say we'll talk about that later.
Okay, no, that's really good. And I just want to emphasize to the fact that we're working off one computer. We usually do two.
So I'm going to hit this. And golly, I sure hope this doesn't send everything silent.
So she's going to hit that. And so my scrolling, my apologies, is I'm trying to look at questions at the same time.
Produce it as well.
And so that wasn't working. So my apologies about that. So she's relaunching, trying so that we have access, and you just unclick my picture. Sorry. So that's okay.
Okay, so you're going to run it from you.
Okay, so I'm still running it. Thank you for your patience, everyone. So I'm still running it.
Okay.
But you're going to have questions. Do you have access to the questions that you can
I do.
Take a look at? And then maybe, so then I'm going to.
I don't have any that came in before when I jumped on.
Okay, so, but that's okay. So I'm still running it. Oh, there you are. So now you have your own, screen. But
so
I
what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you.
So
keep going,
okay.
And then I'm gonna bring it over to my computer to run in a minute because I have some different slides.
Got it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and click forward. And all right. So let's talk about as a reminder, what's currently happening right now through the end of October, and that of course is our block party. This is a great opportunity for you to stock up on or add to your collection of our acrylic blocks. Somebody brought it to my attention. I thought it was a really good idea. Often when you're having a class or even when you're just stamping for yourself, some of those smaller mid-sized blocks, you have 2 or 3 stamps that, a sentiment or an image, and you have to take it off, because you only have one set. So, a good little reminder for yourself and or for your customers is to say, sometimes it's nice to have an additional opportunity to have multiple blocks in some of those. So we are transitioning. Hopefully, my eyes are going sideways. But anyways, so that might be something you might want to consider if you haven't thought of that before. I thought that was a really good idea that was brought up, to have multiples of maybe some of the smaller sizes that you're going to use in one sitting. So anyway, so the individual blocks, of course, are on special and sale for the month of October. That's all through the end of this month. And then, of course, we have the special pricing for the collection and the case of all of our blocks with the case. So keep in mind that that goes until the end of October. So
okay, they're saying if Lynn is going to talk, Nicole needs to mute. Yes, I do.
Check. Okay, came back. No sound. My screen says host is disabled chat. Well, yeah, we don't have chat, but we do have the Q&A, which is here, so we should be good. We should be on track.
all right, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward.
Keep it rolling.
And
Oh, I'm
nope,
rolling.
you're in control now, girl. All right, so want to remind you that our Be Brave card drive is still in full effect. And I want to send a very sincere thank you for those of you who have already sent in your cards. They're starting to come in, and they're so beautiful. And I know for a fact that the individuals who receive these cards, whether they're someone who's actually going through the hard time of going through a chemo, who's just found out that they've been diagnosed, and these cards are also going to be available and given to caretakers because there's a lot that goes into being a caretaker, and sometimes they need a little bit of love as well. So these cards are so appreciated. So keep them coming in. If you're working on them, thank you so very much. Again, thank you for the ones who've already come in. We anticipate receiving more. You can continue to send these in through the end of the month, and of course, we'll take them in even after the end of the month. But of course, we would love to present those to the group that we've been working with for how many years have we been doing this?
This is the fourth.
This is the fourth year, and they're so appreciative of all of the efforts that you do. So we, of course, have a goal of 600 cards, and so hopefully you can continue to help us reach that goal. So thank you so much. Again, those can be sent to the Journey Station here, and our address is listed right here, and of course it's on the website as well. You do not need to send an envelope. For those of you who did add an envelope, thank you so much, because that is certainly helpful. You do not need to send an envelope as well with your donation, but thank you again for your donation.
Patty asked how many have come in so far. I don't know. Is there like 100 or something?
I'm going to say we probably have maybe just a little under 100. So it's a great question, Patty. So just under 100. So we're a little ways away, but we usually they usually come in at the very end, and then they just, you know, then we just skyrocket. So I'm not discouraged by any means. The ones that we have received are beautiful. So we're on track.
Cool. Excellent. All right. What else do we have going on? Ooh.
All right. So as we've been talking about, is the Follow Your Heart kits are available. This is for, of course, for our FSJ Launch Live, Follow Your Heart. That is officially going to kick off and be available on December 1st. However, you can purchase your project kits. Well, they're already available, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of things we want to make sure that you're aware of, that there's two different project kits that you can purchase. There's the standard project kit, and then there's the plus kit. Both of them are equally a great value. Now, you do not have to have a project kit as a reminder to watch the live video and our fun antics and everything and all of the inspiration that you see.
We have some fun things planned.
Right.
Yeah.
You do not have to purchase those project kits to be able to participate on December 1st. This is the first time we've done that. So we're interested, you know, it's a smaller launch, but we're interested to see how that goes, because we think that it's going to be very well enjoyed. But if you want to participate and use these adorable little projects, you can get them at a great price. And so we want to emphasize a couple things. The fact that these are available now, and they're going to be ongoing. How long do they have before we stop selling the project kits, first of all?
Until they run out.
Okay, so until they run out. Okay, but there's a little nuance that we want to make sure you're aware. As you know, right now, we have the great pricing, the discount, kind of like a bundle pricing, but it's a kit pricing. We have that available until the end of this month. They're going to continue to be available for sale, but if you purchase them now through your Coach store, right? You log into the dashboard and you purchase it there. You're going to, for your own self, you're going to be able to receive your Coach discount on top of that great value, okay? But come November 1st, these project kits are still going to be available, but you will only receive them at the kit pricing, the standard kit. You will not receive your creative co-op discount. So we're really encouraging you, you know, if you're going to participate, we understand if you can't, you have to wait for budgeting, totally understand. But if you can all swing it, we encourage you to purchase it before the end of the month. Now this goes for your customers as well. You can place them via the Coach dashboard and order them at Coach order and or on a party order, okay, again through the end of the month, and receive your discount as well, okay. Now the two ones we have, you want to talk about what's the difference between the two?
So we have on the left is the main, what we're calling kind of the main project kit or the base kit, and that's going to come with your 2 stamp sets, and it is a 6x6 printed paper pack. So Janice, you're asking, is it 12x12 or 6x6? This one is a 6x6. We had a lot of requests, and we thought a mini launch, let's do a mini paper pad or paper pack. So that's what comes in that kit. And I'm gonna back up a little bit because I'm gonna show you that that kit then it also has card kits for this card, and this card, the 3 cards. Okay, so your base kit has the product and the kits for these 3 cards. Okay, the plus kit is going to include that stuff plus the 2 dies. So there's 2 dies in this mix. One is a matching die for the typewriter set, as I call it, but sending my love. And then the other one is the, right here, Gable Favor Box die set. So that's a nice beefier die. And then also with that, you get a bonus kit, which is this kit kind of right down here, guys, which is what's used to create this cutie patootie. So, and these little guys come with it too, by the way. The little baby envelopes, the little baby envelopes. So,
the pre-cut ones.
Then they're all pre-cut, yeah. So it's you know, just like always, guys. It's just like pretty much ready to go. You just have to add your inks and adhesives. The supply list and all the information about all of this is out on our website, funsummerjourney.com, events. So go to our regular website, under the events tab, there's a whole page. It has the projects. There's a promotional flyer under there. So if you want to get that and share that with your customers, do that there. The supply list is there. And then all the details for the actual show as well. Again, well, not all the details because the link's not there yet, but if you want to plan. The show is only going to be a 2-hour show because this is a mini. So it's a 2-hour show. It'll be running from noon to 2 Central Time, which is 10 to noon here in Arizona. So if you're getting together with your crafty friends, that's awesome. The make and take will be shot. Again, only the project people who buy the kits will get the make and take sesh. Kim will shoot that earlier in the week, and that'll be sent to you before the 1st. December 1st, so that if you want to do that before the show, depending, you know, if you're on the East Coast, maybe do it before the show. If you're on the West Coast, you do it after the show. Whatever you want to do, or you can watch it in your PJs 3-4 days, like whatever you want to do, you can do that. So the kits will start shipping around the 14th of November. So we have a really big thing happening here, which I'll talk about later, starting the week of the 19th. So we want to get all those kits out the door and on their way to you so that we can clear the decks for our big promotion happening November 19th, but also so that you have them in plenty of time with the Thanksgiving holiday for the show on the 1st. And then Cindy, the items are going to be launching. This is called a launch party on December 1st, and so the items will launch on December 1st. Now, we are going to do probably a few little bundles, and so the items will not launch individually in the store until the show ends, which will be noon our time. So, you know, I'm like, Cindy, where are you these days? You're in Texas. So like 2 o'clock your time. But then they'll be available a la carte to purchase on the 1st. Okay.
And that's beneficial because if you're watching it, you're going to have access to be able to purchase the special bundle pricing.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to have ordered it ahead of time, and so we kind of made it beneficial.
Yeah.
So that you don't order it ahead of time and then go, oh, I just ordered it a la carte, and now you're offering it in this bundle.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be beneficial for y'all.
Absolutely. And the one other thing I did mention is there's a little cutie patootie gifty that goes in if you buy your kits before November 14th. Then you get another little free
another little goodie. Carol has a question.
And yeah, when will we get them?
Yeah.
I answered that. That's okay. I'll answer it again. So again, Carol, we're going to ship the kits around November 14th. Planning to get them out the door around November 14th, if not sooner. Terry, will the bundles be available through Monday as I have a wedding over the weekend? Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know for sure. We'll figure that out. But for you, Terry, you got it. Sorry, guys. It's been a crazy day. I hope I'm not. I know I'm up here really flippant, and I'm not. We're about to talk some really serious topics, but it's been a day. It's been a day. It's been a week.
But a lot of good stuff happened.
Really good stuff happened.
Good stuff you're working on.
Okay, so next up is Bloombox.
Well, right. So so this is the current Bloombox.
Yep.
So we want to kind of do some clarification because there obviously is some transition, and like people are saying, like a little bit of oh my goodness, these are so pretty, but then a little bit of sadness because these are coming up on the last Bloomboxes that are available.
Yeah.
But this is the current Bloombox. This is available currently as an a la carte item, KO0003 for $24.95. So if you haven't already received it, if your customers haven't already received it, you can still order it for $24.95. Now the questions that have come in periodically is how are the Bloombox stamp sets? We're going to go to the next month, which is darling cute. But how are the Bloombox stamp sets going to come into play into the new system?
Yeah, I think I was actually supposed to put that on this slide.
Oh, well, I'm glad I asked that question.
That this stamp set should be, and I say this to myself because I don't think I've loaded it yet, should be available, the stamp set, the Beautiful Friendship should be available a la carte come November 1 in the new
so that's similar to what we have now.
Yeah.
And then of course the November one, which we'll show them in just a moment, will be available as a single stamp set come December 1, right? And then of course they'll be kind of ongoing, right? Yeah. Okay, even though they're not going to be in the catalog, but they will be on the store, just like we've had ongoing, right? All right, so this is currently the Bloombox for October. So let's take a look at our November one. Stinking cute. Now, if you haven't already seen Kim's video on this, you can certainly go to our YouTube channel and see fun little techniques that she did creating some of these in showcasing these. So this is, again, the November one. And let's go ahead and clarify that you can see here that there's a matching die. You do not have to, if you choose to, unless you like fussy cutting, and there's some of us who do, but you do not have to detail cut those little spoons or the little coffee cups and all of those things, the saucers. You have a die available
you don't have a die for the saucer or the cups.
Oh,
for the
you do have to.
It's very therapeutic.
It is. It's just, and it's kind of a quick, so you're right. So there is a little bit of combination of ease and a little bit of therapy in this particular set. It's even more versatile than I originally thought.
You guys just asked a question. I don't know the answer. Yeah, is the die where the dies are here. Hold please. I will get you an answer on that. Okay. Okay.
All right. So now let's we'll come back on that question, right?
Yep.
So to be able to, back. Sorry. To be able to order this one, okay, if you have a customer or yourself, if you're not a Bloombox subscriber.
I'm trying to go get the answer.
Oh, it's going to be hard for you to do it because you're running it. You're running the show. To be able to order this, if you're not already a subscriber, you can order it a la carte now. Even your customers can order it now for the November one, because remember, come November 1st, the things change. So if you want to order this and you're not currently a subscriber or your customers aren't a subscriber, you can order this. And if they are a subscriber too, right? If we have customers who are subscribers, they need to order this.
Okay, if your customer is a subscriber, yes, we're not processing on November 1st because at that point the system will be turned into the new system.
Right.
So if you have a customer who is a Bloombox subscriber, we emailed all of them. So if they received the October Bloombox, then they received an email from us to say, here's the deal with Bloombox, here's how you order it, make sure you order it a la carte. But if you have a customer who doesn't check their email or something, you may want to reach out to them and make sure they are well. This will be available though as long as quantities allow.
Right. It
will be kits. The kits will be available in November in the new web store.
All right. And then you're going to be using BB-NOV as your SKU number because this is a specialty type purchase because you're ordering it a la carte a little bit early, right? All right, so I think we're ready for our next.
Okay, cool. Boy, I just jumped into that.
Well, you
Oh,
sure?
there's another slide in there.
Well, I guess there's not. So we're transitioning to the transition
Let's
plan.
do it.
All right. So so here's some things that are important for you to take note of.
There wasn't.
Was there? So we
Yes,
missed
there
that?
was one that I forgot to add, and then I added.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about what's in
I
that
gotta
one.
remind myself.
Okay.
Go ahead. Carry on.
So let's talk about the transition that's coming up. What's ending at the end of this month, October 31st, and what's changing and transitioning come November 1st. So these are some important things that we want you to be aware of that come October 31st, and many of these, of course, are at the end of the business day. And of course, we use Central Standard Times or Central Time. So keep in mind that if you're placing your orders, you want to keep in mind that the system is based on Central Time. So if you're, Eastern or your West Coast, whichever time zone you're in, and you're a little too late, there's nothing we can do. So please plan ahead. Do not wait until the last minute, because the system literally is just not going to be available come November 1. All right. So the last day to order through your current system, currently what we have through your current coach dashboard as a coach order or placing a party order, an event order, is going to be October 31st. Again, we're working at midnight, 11:59 Central Time is what you need to make sure your orders are placed within. Okay?
So just do it early, guys. Do it
Also,
over that week.
please don't, please don't wait.
Don't wait till Halloween anyway. You're going to be out.
Well, that's true. You're going to be trick-or-treating, and the kids are going to have candy, and they're not going to be in bed yet, right? So then it's going to be midnight before you know it where you're at, okay? Anyway, so additionally, the last day, October 31st, the last day to earn your Jumpstart incentives is October 31st. So if you need a little bit reminder, if you're really close, you might want to do some checking. You can go into your coach dashboard and look at what the requirements of that. And if you have questions, certainly you can always reach out to journeycrew@journeyblooms.com and say, hey, can you just maybe clarify if you think you're that close and you're not sure, but the last day to make sure you hit those marks is October 31st. And then the last day to use your coach, your new coach product credits. So if you're a newer coach with us, we know that this is a lot of change just coming on board, a lot of change and transition. So again, if you're newer and you still have product credit, or anyone who has gift certificates or 50% off machine coupons because you're a new Journey coach, the last day to use those is October 31st as well. Now, there's a little nuance to this with the Platinum 6. I'm going to have you chat to that.
Sure. So because of the issues we've had with the Platinum 6, excuse me, I know that some new coaches wanted it and wanted to use their 50% off coupon for that. And obviously still can once we get that guide fixed, but that's going to be a while, right? It's probably going to be 2-3 months out. So once we're in the new system, I can't do it yet, guys. But once we're in the new system, then if you are a new coach or have someone on your team who is a new coach who wants the opportunity to buy the Platinum 6 at the 50% off, just contact Coach Support, and we'll go ahead and add that 50% off coupon to their Creative Co-op account. And they can go purchase it, and they can purchase the Journey one in a couple months, or if they have ants in their pants and want to get it right away meaning post November 1, we can add that coupon to the Spellbinders Platinum 6, which is the same machine, just different colors. You may be someone who wants your craft room though to have all the tools matching. I totally understand that. Then you'll need to kind of sit tight till it comes back in. But if you just like, I just want a machine, then absolutely we can do that for the Spellbinders one.
All right, wonderful. Now we have a question before I talk to this next one. Are the paper inks refills still going to stay? Will we still get a discount on those bundles? So we're talking about the bundles.
Great question.
Bundles.
Yeah. So the bundles were intended to stay. The discounts though, I need to look at that honestly. And Karen even asked that about the show. She's like, the show one's going to be subject to additional discounting. I have to look, and it's a financial play. Obviously, we don't want to lose money on things, but at the same time, we want to be fair to you guys. So the bundles will be available. They're loaded in the coming soon. That was the topic that I
okay.
But I'll just jump over to the website in a minute and show that. But the discount piece of it, I don't know. I'm not sure yet, Donna. So let me take that back and run some numbers, and then we'll make some decisions. Okay.
Okay. And then the last thing on this slide is last day to redeem traditional journey rewards. So of course that means if you're placing an order via your coach order or your event order, placing multiple orders, then you will, once your order reaches a certain threshold, you're eligible for the host rewards. The system will continue to work that way until the end of October. Come November, we've talked about the fact that we have what we're calling modified journey rewards. Now that's in another slide we're going to talk about in just a bit, but want to emphasize to you that the current way we do journey rewards is going to end on October 31st.
Yeah.
Now, do we have something here? I don't know about Bloom benefits. I don't know if
It's coming.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens on November 1st, Lynn?
Well, no, November 1st, actually, ta-da, we have a brand new FSJ.com is launching, well, funstampersjourney.com.
I know, I shorthanded it. I should.
Right, because, yeah, it's not going to be FSJ.com. I don't know that we own that.
We don't. We've tried.
Okay.
Three-letter URLs are very hard to come by.
Okay.
And someone in China owns it, and they're not willing to sell it.
Oh, yeah, I wonder what they are selling for. Anyways, so it really is funstampersjourney.com. The new look and feel and kind of combination is going to come together come November 1st. And you're saying likely around noon. Of course, the question is noon, whose time?
Probably our time.
Okay.
We are going to continue to talk Central Time in this presentation, and as we get through the transition. But once we are out of the Thatcher system, as I call it, the current system, we will be shifting everything to Arizona time because everything runs on Arizona time here for us. But around noon, basically, there's just a lot, as you probably can imagine, there's a lot of switches and things that have to happen. And rather than doing it midnight on Halloween, we can't, it's just too much work to do. But we want to make sure that we QA it properly, and there's a lot of technical stuff behind it that's way above my brain power.
So Karen has a question, but I think we're probably going to talk about it in just, you're kind of commenting.
Yeah.
Will there be an availability report list on Spellbinder's website? And we're kind of talk about that a little bit later in one of the other slides. So coming back to this one, so we want to emphasize to the fact that come November 1st, as we talked about, funstampersjourney.com kind of relaunches, but it's going to be a combined site with Spellbinders. All right. So whether you type in funstampersjourney.com or spellbinderspaperarts.com, either one. Yes, okay. Either one, it's going to take you to the same place. Now, this doesn't happen until November 1st, okay? Right now, if you go to funstampersjourney.com, everyone's going to place orders through our current system through the end of October, okay? But come November 1, everything's going to come together, and you will, if you type in funstampersjourney.com, it will take you to the combined Spellbinders FSJ site, correct?
Right.
Okay, so and let your customers know. It doesn't matter which one they sign into. Of course, we're connected to Funstampers Journey, so that one's already, my fingers know those letters really well. So I'm probably going to just continue to type that, and it'll take me to the same place. And then the new process come November 1, which we just talked about, the new process for redeeming the modified journey rewards begins. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Okay. Next up. More reminders.
All right, so more reminders. October commissions will be paid out on November 10th. And so this is same as usual. Now, we'll be talking about how long you have access to the coach dashboard, but you'll still have it in the dashboard available in November. But October commissions, just like we normally would, you can't order from the system, but you'll still have access to your dashboard where you can go in and check everything. But commissions will be paid out on November 10th. Now, one question that came in from, I think it was my Tuesday talk, was about the reports in regards to the commissions and everything. Are they going to be able to download, will everything be up to date by the end of November when they have to run all their last reports? Is everything going to be up to date to have access to those reports?
It will.
Okay.
But then that's it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I just wanted, based on the commissions, they said sometimes I don't have everything until later in the month.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will run. Obviously, I generally normally try to run promotions and commissions on the first of the month. It generally takes a 2 to 3 day process because we audit and we change and we tweak things. And now with the fact that there's orders to be assigned to coaches and things like that, it takes a couple extra days. Obviously, we're going to be very tied up on the 1st and 2nd with the new website launch. So we likely won't run promotions and commissions, finalize them to the point where you guys see them until the following week. But you should have plenty of time to get in there and see your data before the dashboard goes away at the end of the month.
Okay. So the next thing here is the stamp set bag incentives can still be achieved post-October. We will use October 31 points as baseline, then add sales points monthly.
That's actually not quite true.
Okay, because I wanted to kind of clarify what you mean.
But when I say use October 31 points as the baseline, anything that's earned from October 31. So granted, we don't, like I just said, we don't run promotions and commissions until, a couple days into November. And then so you won't see them until a couple days in November. But my point is things that were earned in October. So there won't be any other points added, from sales in November because that site will be shut down. Yeah. Okay. So we'll use that, your recruiting points, your promotions, all those things will be used as your baseline. And then your sales from your co-op and or your affiliate, depending on how you choose to run your business, will be added. And we'll be looking at those monthly and then issuing those incentives. So I have heard some people say, gosh, I'm so close to the bag. I don't want to say don't stress, but don't stress. You still have plenty of time to earn it, so long as you choose to continue to purchase, through the co-op or have affiliates.
All right, great, thank you.
Sales. Mm-hmm.
All right, and the last day to access your coach dashboard is November 30th. So as we've talked about, though you can order items through the dashboard up until the end of this month, you still have access all the way through the end of November. But if there's anything on the site in November that you want, you're going to want to download it, whether that's any training materials, Makery Kit resources, any inspiration that you might have seen on there, but specifically reports. You can start to download, reports right now, but I'd probably wait a little bit closer towards the end of November. Don't wait till the last hour of November because you might miss it, but wait until kind of towards the end of November to get that last report in, right? So to make sure that it's the most up to date. This way you can have access to your customer base as well as your individual team members that you've been connected with, so you can stay connected with them. This is going to be your last opportunity to make sure that you have access to that information, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about this, and I know this is in your training as well. What I would encourage you to do, get your assets and things. There is a lot of questions about, what are we keeping, what are we not? And I just realized on the next slide I should have added some more stuff to that, but we'll talk it. But what I would encourage you guys to be doing now is to go get your contact list, and if you haven't done that yet, do that, and we can show you maybe on the post call how to do that. Okay. If someone has a question on that. And when I say post call, I mean we were going to kind of go through all these slides, and then we're going to kind of stick around until I won't say every last question's answered, but
we're here to answer questions.
Yeah. Right? So and that's one thing that we'll show you as well.
And then any items on back order will be mailed out as soon as they arrive. We know that there's still a variety of items listed, and when they arrive, they will continue to be mailed out to you. And just like before, if it's like continues to be on back order, it's something that you and or your customer has ordered, and you're like, I don't want it anymore. I was doing it for a wedding and I no longer need it. Let us know. Reach out to us, right? We'll offer a refund. Okay.
So just to touch base for the masses, then the cup of tea dies, the November Bloom Box cup of tea dies. I just got word from Margaret that they're slated to arrive on Friday. So I don't know if they'll be able to turn those around on Friday, but they should get them out to you all early next week. Betty Jo, are customers keeping their same customer number? Great question, and this is the first I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's a great question.
And no.
Yeah, because it's in a different system.
Yeah, so if you have customers that want to, set up their own accounts and Spellbinders, /FSJ, they'll have to set them up themselves, new credentials. But again, depending on how you choose to run your business,
Right.
you know, if you're a co-op member and you primarily operate in person, then you may be submitting orders on their behalf. It really just depends, Betty Jo, how you choose to handle it.
Right. Great question, though.
Is there an easy way to print your customer list with address as well? Carol, we're going to talk about that in the post call. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. And yes, there is a pretty easy way. All right, next up, Linners.
All right. So the at a glance, what is staying? All right. So these are the items that are staying, because we've had questions on, well, what business supplies are available? We know that we're transitioning into a new business model, and some of the things are no longer needed, right? So this is what's staying. The ink cubes, the darling little ink cubes, the black licorice ink cubes, baby glaze, so those individual little glazes are going to be available, and the bloom stamps that at one point were available as a combo with the ink cubes. Okay?
I should have been more clear on this. This is just an example. These are the 3 things people keep asking me specifically about, but pretty much anything, guys, that except for order forms, which we'll talk about in a minute, but pretty much anything on that business supply list, branded merch, all that stuff is still staying because we still have inventory and
right. And so there's not a special login to, for you to specifically get them. For the most part, they're going to be available for anyone. So anyone going to spellbinders.com or fsj.com and they log in and they come across it, they may go, what are these things, right? But they can still order them as well. So it's kind of an open availability for ordering, but of course, because of your history with them, how they're going to be beneficial. We're not doing any special promotion on them in regards to, hey, this is why they're here. You're going to know because you have the experience.
Party bag, like the party bags are still in there, the shopper's totes, branded purse. The one thing that we're still discussing, and I was in a conversation with Christy Brisbane this morning about this, is catalogs. So the singles will be available. We will need to put a slip sheet in singles because if a customer orders them, they'll be like, what is all this stuff about Journey Coach opportunity and stuff? So there will be a slip sheet in them to explain the situation. But the question around do we include 8-packs or not is still up for discussion. So yeah, so if you have a distinct POV on that and you're like, yeah, we should have them, then let me know.
All right.
Chelsea just said catalogs are no longer available via cases. They should be still on the faster side, and if they're not, we'll take a look at that.
Thank you, Chelsea. Appreciate that.
Okay.
And then the same with, we talked about the catalogs, but the same with the snapshots. We just recently released the snapshot. This is, it's a beautiful little mini one, and it still is relevant, except again for a couple of the pages, right? The one that might talk about recruiting, if there's that page. So it's still, both of those catalogs are still very relevant because everything in them are available. So if you're hosting classes, if you're going to an expo or something, there's still a viable thing. You just might, a viable option to use. You just might want to put a little slip in there saying that the business model has changed, and reach out to me and I'll be happy to discuss things with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm writing down that thing from, and then the modified Journey rewards. So Journey rewards, but they are modified, and we're going to talk about what that means for you in just a bit.
And then one other thing that I didn't add to this list that someone just asked about, and it's about, I guess what I would call the printables. So the calendars for the flip books, the calendar for the easel, I know there's others, and I can't.
Right. Well, there's the 3 different styles of calendars.
Yeah. So those printables will still absolutely be available. They're just going to be in the footer listed as printables. And then we'll also likely link them on the actual product in the store. So when you go to the flipbook item in the store, that printable will be there. Also product knowledge guides. So the product knowledge guides will carry over as well because they're absolutely relevant for customers to know information about pen pastels or liquid colors or whatever it might be. And then also the goal is to link them to the item in the shop as well, so that information is right there.
But they're also relevant for you as well. So, don't discount the fact that how valuable they can be when you're talking with your customers at a class or an expo or something to share with them about how the products work. So, make sure you have your own copies in your own little lookbook as well.
Yeah, cool. All right, what's going away, Lynn?
All right. So, okay, well, this is where that product availability list is. So,
I'll tell you about it in a minute. Yeah.
so I'm going to go ahead and have you kind of explain about that one because I think you have a little more knowledge.
I will, and I think there's the next line we talked about it.
Okay.
So product availability list will be going away once the dashboard's gone. So actually, no, post-October, it will likely be going away. And that's frankly just because we're changing the process that we use to do this and to run all of this, and it's just not going to be something we can do moving forward. So that likely will go away. Order forms will be going away because what my expectation or hope, I think, is for all of you is that as you continue to kind of build your business and brand your business for yourself, that you create your own, and it's cheaper too. And so we're no longer beholden to the direct sales rules and regs, if you will. I still think it's good business practice to provide copies to your customer and copy for yourself, but it's no longer a policy or a rule. And so have some fun with it, make your own order form.
Right, and just as an FYI, you can easily make your own order form. There's all kinds of templates online. You can open up Word and go to templates and type in order form templates and find them. You can go to do a Google search and create that. You can create them in so many different ways, whether it's in Publisher or Word documents or so on and so forth. You could potentially, even if you wanted to, go to Staples. They have generic type of products available there. So if it works, you know, as long as it has all the different fields, the product name, a place to write the SKU, which could be part of the product name, the quantity, and then a place to put the price and shipping and tax and all of that, you can easily just you know, purchase those and make it easy.
Yeah.
So what's ever easiest for you? If you want to brand them with your own logo and everything, then of course you create it using one of the other sources.
And remember that order forms right now are still available as a printable in the dashboard. Again, they're going to be not as relevant November 1 because they're going to talk about Bloom benefits. And Bloom benefits, people at 4 are going to be going away on November 1st. So, but maybe it gives you an example or something to follow. Coach Essential bundles. So those are also not going to be available post October 31st. So those are the ones, if you were, they originally were offered for new coaches, and then we opened it up to everybody because otherwise it was a pretty big investment, you know, only 90 days in. So that's kind of, there's like a cut above and like score and more and some different, just kind of basic tool bundles that are at a really nice price point for the coach or newer coach. Those will no longer be available in the new shop. The one exception, of course, is the Clear Block bundle. That will be available. I'm just trying to see what the price is going to be on that. I don't know if it'll stay at $99 or if it changes. I'm not sure. But that will be available. But otherwise, they will not. And then Bloombox, as you know, November is our last official Bloombox in its current form. It will be replaced with Stamp of the Month in January of 2019. And basically, you'll get still a full-size red rubber stamp. It'll still be a brand new design. You'll get inspiration. You just won't get the pre-cut pieces to it. And it will be $15 a month plus $5 shipping. And we'll occasionally have add-on kits and add-on pieces here. I was going to say kits, I don't want to misconstrue, but add-on little pieces here and there. So that's kind of what will be coming in January, and we'll have a lot more information as we get closer to that. So, so that's the status of that. I'm going to go to the next. I think you can take it, and I'm going to go. Are you aware of this stuff?
Yes. I don't know if your little thing is showing. Oh, there it is. It's gone.
I'm going to go grab my power.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So changes as of November 1st. So back orders. We kind of talked a little bit about the back orders. If an item is on back order, it will be not allowed for you to order it. So starting again, effective November 1st, whether it's a Spellbinders item or it's an FSJ item, the system works differently. It's a little more real time. So if an item is on back order, it's not available, it will not allow you to order it. It's different from our current system, right? Rather, you can input your email to receive a notification when it's available. So the system will prompt you and say, hey, this item is not currently available. Are you interested in being notified when it comes in? You just plug in your email address, and then you can go back and order it at that time. So this will be available for, of course, both the FSJ product line as well as the Spellbinder items as well. The exception is pre-order items like the Glimmer machine. What does that mean in regards to, help clarify that if you wouldn't mind. I can plug you in over here.
Because there's no power. We're out of outlets.
I'm going to unplug something else
okay.
that doesn't need to be plugged. So if you
Um,
can answer that little nuance to the
Yeah.
Glimmer machine.
Yeah, so anything that's basically a pre-sale item. So even like in the future, if we do shows and there's like pre-sale kits or anything that we would do as like a pre-sale or pre-order, that will go into kind of a back order type of a thing. So I know many of you ordered Glimmer machines and got that back order notice. Like we kind of told you that it would be in the first week of November. So so that's the exception. But on an ongoing basis, if it is on back order, we don't have any in stock, it will not allow you to add it to your cart.
Now we have a question before we went to this next slide. We cannot get a discount on stamp of the month, correct? That was just wanted to.
Yeah, that's a great question, Betty. And yes, that is one of the kits. And so
wanted to reemphasize that.
Not subject to additional discount.
Okay. And then Kit Club, so it's kind of like this we're talking about. If you join a club, okay, so this is something you're going to probably want to talk to if you don't mind. If you join a club, the system will reclassify you into a new customer group, earning 10% discount. Sometimes systems are just created. All the software is created to work a certain way. And we created the Creative Co-op specifically for you, our transitioning coaches. That said, we're putting you in and you're getting this special discount, but this is where this new kit, if you order a kit, it's going to change again, as it says here. It's going to reclassify you and take you to 10%, which is great if you were a regular customer, because now you get 10%, but it changes. So if you want to speak to that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people say it's a glitch in the system. I'm like, it technically runs like we want it to, but the reality is you can only be in one customer group at a time, and that makes sense to me, that logically. So, and it's based off kind of the last transaction or the last time you touched it. And so, yeah, if you add yourself to a kit club, subscription club, or let's say you were in the small die of the month club and you change it to the large die of the month club, that's going to say, oh, you are, it's going to change. It's going to say you got to touch your subscription. And so it'll again reclassify you into that 10% group. So is it tragic? No. Is it kind of a pain? Yeah. But all you need to do is contact coach support and they will reclassify you into the correct group.
Can you clarify then, because I think I had this question, is so I order it and it's a club, so is that a monthly club or do I order it like an a la carte each month and every time I order this, so how does that work?
Yeah, I should have included this because their club runs much differently than ours.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just wrote all this up, but it was in the FAQs for the policies and I don't have it here, but let me kind of break it down for you, those of you that are interested, because it is different than Bloombox. So if you sign up to join one of their clubs, whether it be, Kit and Caboodle, which is basically everything, or just maybe their card kit or any of their clubs, and you sign up today. What is today? Today is the 20-something. I know what today is. Today is October 24th. If you sign up today on October 24th for one of the Kit clubs, then your next subscription will process on November 24th. Well, that's Thanksgiving, I think, but it will still process. So basically, the day you sign up becomes what's called your anniversary day. And so that becomes the day that you process, the day of the month that you process each and every month. Can you change your anniversary date? Sure, you can. Just call customer service or coach support. In this case, I say customer service because I don't know that our coach support team's been trained yet how to do that, but Samantha will soon. So then we can adjust it, but by and large, it's going to just process every month. If you say, I want to skip, I don't like that design, or maybe money's a little tight this month, maybe I'm on vacation and I can't do it, then you need to go in and you can skip, and there's all the information on how to do this and the FAQs on the club page, on the Small Vendors Club page right now. But you have to do it like 48 hours before you're going to process. So make sure you do that. You can skip. You can cancel. There's no rules about how long you have to be in the club.
And Betty has a question. She says, will stamp of the month be offered later to anyone not in the club? So is it like a one-time offer? And I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's if there's things left over. I know how Spellbinders does it is that if there's kits left over, they do offer them later, but it's at a different, it's higher price.
Okay, so you're getting your best value at
again, it always benefit. We always want to reward the behavior of subscribing.
And of course, you'll want to get it at that discount because it's a club item and it's not subject to your your creative co-op discount. So, and I just want to kind of just for reference point, I realize that we're at the top of the hour, and we've still got several more things to talk about along with our Q&A. So if you need to step away, we totally understand it. We do have this pushed on recording, so fingers crossed that recording, will render and then we'll put it up on the coach dashboard as soon as we have it available. But there's a lot of things that we wanted to make sure that we walked through because, of course, we are going through this transition time frame. So if you can stay on, we'd love to spend additional time with you, but we understand if you need to step away and we will have the recording.
Cool. So I did want to just kind of address coach support here. So I know there's a lot of questions like, who do I contact? Do I contact Spellbinders? Is coach support still around? Absolutely still around. And I said our two support teams are working together. So there's a Spellbinders customer service team. There's our coach support team. They are working hand in hand. In fact, we had a meeting today just to kind of touch base and make sure everything was moving in the right direction. Samantha's being cross-trained on their system, and Leanne is learning a lot of y'all's names, and Bianca has probably talked to a lot of you as well. So so we're working together to provide really the best service that we hopefully you've come to expect from us. If you have questions, you can absolutely send them to coachsupport@journeyblooms.com. And this is if you have even questions on your Spellbinders orders, because I know many of you have shopped on the Spellbinders site since you got your co-op discount. You certainly can contact Leanne and Bianca over on the SB side, or you can reach out to Samantha on the Coach Support Journey Bloom side. Phone number is the same. I will say, though, the hours have been adjusted a little bit. We're not providing quite the range just because we don't have as many people. But still, 7:30 to 4 Arizona time, which is 9:30 to 6, I think. Is that right? Yeah, Central time. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so Modified Journey Rewards Program. So this kind of first section addresses why it's called modified. This should be hopefully a repeat for a review for many, but I just kind of want to reiterate. What it means by Modified Journey Rewards Program is you can continue to still earn ATS's Journey Dollars and 50% off items when your order or orders, a collection of orders reaches certain thresholds. Host exclusives are now available to all at the reduced retail, or they will become November 1. So that's one of the kind of modifications. It is going to require some manual processing by you and by our crew because you're going to have to send an email. We're going to talk about that, and then there's just a little nuance to it that's going to make it a little bit more cumbersome. I'm not going to lie, but for us, we heard you guys loud and clear, primarily your advisory council. People advocated hard to keep this, especially for your clubs that are still rolling. So there is some manual processing, but we're hoping to get it as streamlined as possible so it's easy on you and your customers and your hosts. Again, this will be available on qualifying single orders or groups of orders, and these are really co-op orders. So this is only available through the co-op submitted orders. This does not apply to affiliate orders. Affiliate orders are just in a different class, and so not subject to affiliate orders. I also will say that Lynn and Janine have worked very hard on a very robust FAQ that will be published probably not till early next week now, right?
Right.
So we will get that out.
It will be before November 1, where you have to submit everything. But we're kind of giving you an overview, and I kind of gave an overview in one of the documents that I previously put together. But all the details are going to come out in this new FAQ.
Yeah, and it'll really walk you step by step. But high level, we'll just kind of address it here.
Right.
Again, you're going to submit the orders via the shop, the normal shop, the one that Lynn referenced earlier. That you can find either at the new FunSummersJourney.com come November 1 or SpellbindersPaperArts.com, and you'll use your co-op account, of course. You may submit one order, you may submit multiple, just depends on how you're going to do it, if you're shipping directly to your customers or what have you. So we're going to need you to email Coach Support within 3 days of submitting your orders, though, and you're going to include a whole bunch of information in that email, and we will detail all of that in the FAQ. But it's pretty basic stuff, like, which orders are we looking at, and who are you, who's your host, what ATSs do they want, things like that. Once the kind of party value has been verified, then we will issue the ATSs. We'll ship those directly to the host. We'll add Journey Reward to the, which is basically in the form of a store credit to the host account.
Or on their next purchase.
Yeah, towards their next purchase. Thank you for that. And then we'll add the 50% off coupons to the host account as well.
For their next purchase.
For their next purchase. If you are the host, then we'll do that as well. And your 50% off coupon will be adjusted for your co-op discount, right? So it's not like you get a 50% off coupon, like you get 40% off, and then you get 50% off of that. You'll get it so that it plays into whatever your co-op
coupon will account for that.
Correct.
Combination, okay.
And then the shipping. Shipping is a question. Like, are my customers going to have to pay shipping when they're Journey Rewards? It really depends on, the answer is no, we're going to make concessions for that. But for the most part, remember, Spellbinder's shipping policy is if you have an order north of $75, you'll get free shipping anyway. So if you are someone who generally is going to have a 50% off coupon because you had a big party, that order is plus $60 in Journey Rewards, that order is likely going to be north of the $75 mark as it is. So
it kind of equals out, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Carol, I've had the Journey Station add back my correct discount, but will it need to be added back each month after my club order processes? Carol, that is a great question and one that we don't have an answer to yet. We reached out to the processor, the processing company who processes that monthly, to say, do you reclass people every month when you process it, or is it something that only happens when they first purchase? We're hoping it's for the latter, but we don't know yet. And once we have that answer, we'll be able to better articulate how we're going to handle this moving forward. Okay, so again, full FAQ will be available on the rewards program next week. So we want to get it really good and potentially get, I think, the form with it for like the information they put in the email. So. Okay, deep breaths, guys, because we are about to embark on probably our least favorite topic, but one that I know has been stressing out a lot of our field, and that is tax. So I am going to caveat everything I say by saying I'm not an accountant. Do not take what I say as gospel. Do not say, Nicole told me so, but I will say, you know, I've become a pretty good student at this because of Lynn and Mark. Lynn knows a lot about this, so I'm going to try to take the lead on it, but she might have to step in and correct me. But basically kind of just explaining how it all works. And frankly, hopefully addressing some misconceptions out there. And yeah, so.
I think, you know, just to start out with that is like, thank you. We really appreciate when in our communities, y'all step in and answer each other's questions, because that's what part of the community is helping each other out. However, when it has come to the tax questions, specifically, we're going to be talking about what we refer to as use tax and sales tax, right? There's some nuances to it, and what one person might share with you about what they know about it is potentially going to be different for somebody else based off of some factors we're going to talk about. So thank you for stepping in and offering those assistances. However, it's really important that you take note as an overview of what we share with you, and then apply it to and research it based off of your personal needs, the way you're going to run your business, and the way that, and where you live, because that's going to play a part of this as well. Yeah. And we've shared some different links that will help you with that. We'll reference those as we go along, but that's part of this as well.
Cool. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're talking about sales tax. And this, so in the web store, Spellbinder/FSJ, it says charges, which means Spellbinder's charges now in the web store, and when FSJ is added next week, we will be part of this as well. Sales tax only on orders shipping to Arizona. Okay, so this is current Spellbinders, and this is future state Spellbinders and FSJ post November 1. None of this affects current system FSJ. Okay, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now you might already say, well, wait a minute, I saw such and such lives in Kansas and she was charged sales tax. That has happened over the last week, and the reason for that is because we're working to basically connect Avalara, who's going to be our sales tax calculating body, to our systems. And there's a lot of settings and things that have to be done. And so that's what's happening in the background, and that's what's causing some things to not work the way they need to work moving forward. If you were, for example, charged sales tax and you don't feel that you should have been, and contact coach support or customer support, and they will refund you the money, the sales tax money. But so I know I've seen people say, "What?" And then it's because we're still putting it all together. I think Vicki said it best when we kind of explained this. She says, "Oh my gosh, this is so complicated." Yes, it is, and that's why we have really the best in the industry, Avalara, this is what they do. And they are well versed on all the laws and the frankly changing landscape, because it's changing very quickly. Okay, so only sales tax on orders shipping to Arizona. This is not our decision, it is the law. So, and this is going to apply to co-op orders, affiliate orders, basically any order that a customer/consumer places via the website. I have also seen some comments like, oh, co-op members don't have to pay, but you do it for customers. No. Anybody who puts an order in on the site, whether you came in through an affiliate link or you're a co-op member or you're just Johnny Stamper off the street, you will only pay sales tax if you are in Arizona. If you're shipping, to Arizona. I gotta be clear, it's all about where the order ships to, okay? Okay, so next question. Why? Why is this the case? And frankly, it's all about nexus. And so what the heck is nexus? Nexus is just a fancy word for presence. So in general, you cannot charge sales tax where you do not have a nexus, in a state where you do not have a nexus, where you don't have a presence. And we'll talk about what this means, presence means, in a minute. So we've gotten a lot of questions like, well, why did you guys do this before for us, like the service for us, and you're not doing it now? It's not about us doing a service for you, it's about the law. And again, as a direct seller, having a coach in a certain state gave us nexus in that state, which meant we need to charge sales tax in that state, and then we were remitting that sales tax on your behalf. Come November 1, we won't have you guys, you'll still be there, but you're not going to be classified in the same way. You're not really going to be our, independent contractors. And so as a retail brand or a retail organization, we will no longer have nexus in any state except for Arizona. And that's because that's where our headquarters is, here in Arizona. So big caveat, the bullet on the bottom is really, the reality here is that this can change at any time. And let me explain why. So this whole notion of how you create a nexus. So physical presence can mean a number of different things. It can mean having an office like we have here in Arizona. It could mean having an employee in a different state. So if we have an employee working in a different state, he or she, by working in that state, would create a nexus. Right now, we have contractors in other states, but we do not have employees in other states. That could change. But right now, Arizona. Again, having another warehouse, storing other inventory, those are things that also would create nexus. So you'll see some retail brands we're going to show you in a bit likely have nexus in different states because they have warehouses there, right, distribution centers, that type of thing. But you can also create an economic nexus. What does that mean? Well, it means once your state reaches something, either a certain dollar amount or maybe a number of transactions, then that basically says, hey, you're doing significant business in this state, and therefore you have created nexus, and therefore now you charge sales tax and remit it to us. Okay, so I know like South Dakota is one of those states that's created, that has an economic nexus rule. I think it's like $100,000 and 1,000 transactions or something like that. Michigan, I believe, Glenda was educating me, I think Michigan is one that can create economic nexus. More, I guarantee you, will be added to this list. I don't know what they are. I don't know under what time frame. And frankly, they're pretty big numbers that we as Fund Stampers Journey / Spellbinders would have to hit in order to then start charging tax. But that's why this is such a dynamic situation and why we have Avalara to help manage it. Because one day you may not be charged sales tax, and then the next day you are. So
and again, not specific to Fund Stampers Journey or Spellbinders. We're going to share with you a couple of examples and samples of how this relays in other ways, in other areas that you purchase.
Yeah, and for probably a lot of you, you did not even realize it. And we're going to talk about that. So is this just an FSJ thing? No, it's not. So let's look at some other examples. So Lynn actually pulled a few other examples, and
let me caveat that.
Talk about it.
So I wanted to give some examples because like Nicole said, this has actually been around for quite some time, almost since the beginning of internet online sales, because your local communities need their sales tax to help run their communities, your communities. And when people buy, specifically, because you could create a nexus in a variety of different ways, but when people started ordering online, then, and they were not being charged, they weren't being able to, sorry, let me restate. When people started ordering online, they stopped purchasing at their local stores, and thus the local companies weren't receiving sales tax, which helps generate their business, the business models, and helps them run their states, right? The state. We need our money. We need it, right? So people were buying online, and at the very beginning, these companies didn't charge sales tax, and people were saying, "Oh, good, I wasn't charged sales tax. I think I'm going to continue ordering online." But guess what? The local states were saying, "No, we want our taxes. We need them to run our communities." Okay, so then this is part of where Nexus comes into play, but it's also part of use tax, which we're going to be talking about. So I wanted to give you some samples of different companies that have been around all along, but you may or may not have been aware of it, depending on how much you shop. So I'm using scrapbook.com. Yes, it is one of our competitors. It's actually an affiliate program, and yes, come November 1st, you can be an affiliate for a variety of products.
But the key here is they're located right down the road.
Guess what? They're in Arizona. So we mentioned, is this specifically for FSJ? No. This is, you're going to see in some of these samples, scrapbook.com is located in Arizona. And so what I did was I placed sample orders and I changed my ship to location. So let's go ahead and have you continue.
So obviously, again, they're located in Arizona. They're located in Mesa, right down the road. When Lynn was shipping her order to Phoenix, Arizona, she was charged tax. So again, Arizona-based company.
The Nexus was there.
Nexus is there. Origin state, charge tax. Next, she's sending it. I keep teasing her to Kink Salmon.
That was supposed to be King. It's based off of the zip code, not necessarily the spelling.
The key is it's Arkansas, right? And so you see no tax. And then again, another example, this one based in Alabama. Lynn likes her southern states, and no tax. So, okay, so I'm going to start picking up the pace a little bit here.
And I want you to know that I did this with a variety of different states.
She has like pages.
I just really wanted to test this out to make sure. So I did test East Coast, and I tested California. I tested them all. And outside of, there's some of your states that don't charge tax, period. So of course you weren't charged tax.
Oregon.
So, but for the most part, there was not a nexus in those areas that I checked out. So I wanted to try a different example.
Yeah. So again, staying in the crafting genre here. Joann's. So Joann's is obviously different because they have retail footprints really, and I don't think they have in all 50 states, but they have them in most. And so you see it's very different. We get charged sales tax on all 3 states, no matter if we're in Arizona, California,
again, based
Kansas.
off the fact that there was Nexus, they have the requirement to charge taxes. So when you order from joanns.com, you're going to be charged tax. But if you were to order from a smaller company that does not have a presence in your local communities, but you're ordering online and their location is in a different area, there's no Nexus, thus there is no tax being charged. And we did one more.
This was a little different. So Oriental Trading. Oriental Trading is located, their headquarters are in Nebraska. Okay. So good. Nebraska's on the list. I should check that, but I assume they would be. So this is stated in their kind of policies. And if you go to Wayfair, if you go to Oriental Trading, if you go to a variety of different retailers, they will often say this is where we charge sales tax. The sales tax right now is charged on orders shipped to the following states. And this is the states that they charge tax on.
Now, what we don't know is, you know, how their nexus was created in each of these areas, but they've listed these areas likely because there is a nexus, so they're going to be charging sales tax for whatever their nexus is. They're charging sales tax on your Now, I've ordered from Oriental Trading, and I'm not on this list. I'll be honest, I didn't, you know, and this has been a while, I didn't notice that I wasn't charged sales tax. But guess what? Let's take a look at
no tax, baby.
No tax. Now we're going to be talking about what that means in regards to use tax,
that's
right? And then I did another sample for Alabama, and guess what? Alabama's on that list, and there was sales tax. And I could have obviously gone more, but again, it's all based off of where you're ordering from, where the main headquarters are at, and where it's shipping to. Again, this is not specifically an FSJ Spellbinders thing. It is across the board. I was chatting with someone a little earlier, and I said, do you do any online shopping? And they mentioned Kohl's. You know, so, you know, I do online shopping at Kohl's and you know, maybe Target, or, you know, all of those different places. And those places are likely going to have a nexus pretty much across the board, because they're going to be charging tax. So you know, you're not going to have to worry about that. But let's talk about use tax and how it works.
What does this mean? Okay, so what is use tax? I'm going to read it so I don't screw it up. Use tax is a sales tax on purchases made outside one state of residence for taxable items that will be used, stored, or consumed in one state of residence and on which no tax was collected in the state of purchase. So for example, you know, if you order it, you're in Texas right now, you don't pay any sales tax. Then the state still wants their money, guys. That's the key here, right? The government still wants their money, so that it's just remitted in the form of use tax. Again, if the purchase would have been taxed, if it was made in a purchaser's state of residence, then use tax is due. So if you are in Oregon, this doesn't matter. You don't pay sales tax. You don't. I shouldn't say this out. I'm pretty sure you don't have use tax as well. Those kind of 5 states that are tax exempt, this doesn't matter. But for the rest of you, which is most of you, you really should be paying this use tax. But here's what I'm going to follow this up with, guys. Where's my clicker here? But before you worry about this, and I've seen a lot of people worry about this, I want you to ask yourself a couple questions. Do you currently buy products online?
From anywhere. Across the board, and whether it's crafting.
And do you pay use tax now? And so this is kind of a choose your own adventure, enter your own risk. I don't know what the right term is here, but the reality is, now there is a side where the very ethical side of all of you that say, well, now I know about it and I didn't know about it before. But the reality is, guys, use tax has been around for a very long time. And it's probably something you've blown past, or your accountant has blown past. I don't know if it's your accountant, but on the forms, if you go pull your state form, there is a use tax line. Not all. Arizona actually doesn't have one, believe it or not, but other states do, that has use tax. How much use tax are you remitting on your annual return, okay? So if you are someone who is a hobby, what you would classify yourself as a hobby coach, and like, I just want to buy crafty products, and then buy crafty products. If you don't buy them from us, you're going to go buy them from Spellbinder or scrapbook.com, and guess what? Subject to the same thing. So really, it's your decision how you want to take this information that you have and use it. But I think there's a lot of hysteria around it, and I think,
like I said, this has been around for quite some time. It's just it's just something that we kind of take it for granted.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Well, but then the law says ignorance is bliss of the law, right? Yeah. That we're just making you aware of this. The fact that I have ordered from Oriental Trading Company, and guess what? You know, it's up to me. They didn't charge me tax, but I didn't notice it back, and this has been quite some time. Yeah. But am I required to? The law says I should remit my use tax. There's
some states like Illinois, there's like a box you can check, and you can pay a flat, like, yep, pay my $85 fee or fine or tax, whatever you call it. And you know, it's that. So you just really have to look at your own state and how your own state does it. And you all know that this is a rapidly changing landscape. So the sales tax piece can be changing, but also use tax. You know, there's
And
a lot of
this is a political and governmental ever-changing process. This has been on the books for a lot of agencies, government agencies, because governments want their money. I'm not trying to make this political, but the communities need their money, their tax monies, to be able to pay for different resources. So it's actually going to potentially, as time goes on, there's going to be more and more places that you're going to be charged. It may be down the road that there's an automatic nexus just for everyone, you know.
You see that in kind of the Amazon. That's kind of like the Amazon laws.
Yeah, they actually do call it an Amazon tax, but it's not specifically for Amazon. But for the longest time, Amazon didn't charge sales tax.
Days, and I thought I was like living the high life.
Right.
I had no idea.
But then those companies said, Amazon, you're taking too much money away from us, so we need those sales tax. So guess what Amazon did? Is they now have distribution centers in almost all of the states. So they created a nexus in all of those areas. So they make it easy for us now to purchase, but we no longer have the no sales tax because it remits that way. And we do have
I think Mary Kay's bored of this tax talk. She's like, "Where's the sneak peek?" Okay, there's one more thing on taxes.
But
and
we did cover this, and this was one of the main ones because it was a big issue for a lot of people. Question.
So now, what about purchases made on behalf of customers, which Sandra, I believe, is what you're speaking to. So if you are not charged sales tax but resell to a customer, then you should charge them sales tax. And then really responsibility is on you to remit that tax, okay? So if you take orders at an event and you collect money, you should be collecting the sales tax then for your current jurisdiction, and then keeping track of that and remitting that. But again, I cannot underscore enough that you need to work with your accountant, your tax advisor, whoever it might be. This is really great when you have a CPA in the family or something, so hopefully some of you are blessed with that can help you through this. The one thing I can say about the advisory council call a few minutes prior to this call is that, and Lynn kind of spoke to it before too, it's awesome how you guys are trying to help one another, but if someone in California is giving advice to someone in Michigan, it's not good advice, even if it is good advice, because the laws are different. And how you all run your businesses is different. And so one thing that came out on the advisory call is that there was a lot of panic even among that group, right? Because those are some of our greatest business builders. And they said, gosh, I went and met with my controller, I met with my whatever, I met with my advisor, I met with my whomever it is, went to the state capitol and got the papers. And they said, wow, it's actually easier than I thought. So I know that anything that involves paperwork and government and tax just kind of gives us all heart palpitations, but take a deep breath and then ask the questions to whoever it might be. And I'm hopeful that it's not as bad as I think everyone thinks it might be. Okay, so yes, Tiffany, it's getting late on the East Coast. I know. This is a big topic though. This is a big one. So hopefully that has helped answer some questions for you all. And you know, again, contact your authority and that to help you get your questions specifically answered for your area. Okay, so what's coming? There's not going to be pretty sneak peeks for you to look at, but I will tell you what's coming. So November 1st, we do have a promotion coming for that first week of November, and it's called the Better Together Gift with Purchase. So it will be a brand new, yet to be released FSJ product, and I don't have a picture of it here, but it will be. You haven't seen it before. Plus an ATS. I'm not going to lie to you guys, one of the ATSs in this free gift is one of the current Bloom benefits, former Bloom benefits, plus a Spellbinders die, a really cute little Spellbinders die. So this is coming November 1st. So it's a $30 value on this gift with purchase. For any purchases for $60 or more, you will get this little gifty. And that is while supplies last. And we don't have a whole lot of them. I think we have like 500 of them. So they'll go pretty quick. So FYI on that, that's coming. And then coming November 19th, guys, this is a biggie. We're calling it Holiday Hoopla Sale. We're calling it Holiday Hoopla Sale.
Okay, that's good to know.
This is really AKA our Black Friday sale. So it will begin on Monday, November 19th. So it's going to start on the Monday before Thanksgiving. And it will run through the week after, like Cyber Monday or whatever. So it's really Spellbinder's biggest sale of the year. we're jumping on board. We're going to have some items on that for sale that we've never had on sale before. Ooh, you're intrigued, aren't you? And then we'll also have some, at least one, there might be more, exclusive bundles as well.
If I can tag off that, what I understand is that there'll be some great prices, but they also get their
you will get your
co-op
discount on these items. So it's some of you guys are going to get like it's going to be practically free.
It's going to be a pretty good discount. We'll just say that.
Yeah. So keep that on your radar. It'll be really exciting. Again, because of the way this system works now, once an item sells out, it sells out, and you won't be able to buy it until later. Now, the cool thing, though, about the site is that once an item does sell out, you can put your name up to be notified when it comes back in stock, which I'll show you in a minute. But again, then when it's back in stock, it's not going to be at this hot price. So you're going to want to be tuned in for the 19th. What else is coming? Follow Your Heart is coming. So we talked about the project kits before. We will be publishing a mini catalog. I can't promise you how many of these mini catalogs we'll publish in the future, but this one we're going to do. It will be included in the Follow Your Heart project kit, so that if you buy the kit, you'll get one in there. And then Greg made the call on this, guys. So the third bullet. So all coaches who are active, new, or pending will be getting a copy of this little mini. In November will be shipped. It's going to be like snapshot size, so it's not a big, don't think you're getting like a massive big catalog. It's just a little baby, but it's really cute. And the projects are all laid out and they're just adorable. So that will be coming to you. If you have resigned or pending resignation, no, but you're probably not on the call either. And then again, make sure you save the date for the live show on December 1st. And again, that's available to all. Let's see, let's wrap it up with training.
All right, so we're going to click through. I had all of these things. This is kind of the current training that's available that you have on your coach dashboard under the transition tab. And I was going to go through each of those. You can see those listed there. Please make sure that you take a look at those. We actually have kind of been hearing from people that like, oh no, I didn't read that. No, I didn't, you know. So it's available there for you to look at. I encourage you to take a viewing of maybe the videos. If you're not sure how the affiliate program works, there's a video on how to sign up to become an affiliate through ShareASale, and then of course to become specifically an affiliate through FSJ Spellbinders. So there's all kinds of training available currently on your dashboard under the transition tab, but let's go ahead and you already know about those, so I encourage you to take a look at them because we created them so that you can get as informed and be as trained as possible. And so here's some of the items that I have on my list to work on. There's going to be a combination of PDFs and videos, how to create custom affiliate links. Right now you have something in your dashboard on how to create and find banner links and be able to create links that you can put on your social media outlets, your blogs, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to walk through how to create custom affiliate links, which is super easy within the ShareASale system, how to create links specifically for your social media outlets, specifically on how to work with YouTube channels, creating affiliate links for your blogs. And the important thing is that you have disclosures. We'll talk about the importance of disclosing that the links that you're providing are affiliate links, that there's no additional cost to the person who clicks on them and purchases through that link. We're going to talk about how to create pretty images that you can put on Pinterest and of course any of your social media outlets that will entice people to want to click and go to your affiliate link. We're going to talk about how to add affiliate links, and this is all about affiliate training and of course using your creative co-op, but specifically I haven't really gotten to the affiliate training yet because we've been kind of waiting for our product line to transition over into the FSJ/Spellbinders site. And then building a contact list, I know is really important for many people, and the importance of test marketing. So there's a lot more coming your way, and I'll be working on them as quickly as I can.
Yeah, and I just want to kind of underscore, I know that, you know, it probably is overwhelming to many of you, like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. And so for us, two things. Number one, Lynn's got her hands full really just getting everybody kind of into ShareASale that wants to be and making sure that everyone is comfortable and educated on the transition. P.S. by the way, Carol gave you a shout out for walking her through.
Oh, thanks, Carol. We had a good chat.
There's a lot of those things happening, right? Some folks that have just really some serious concerns and they want to talk to one of us about it. We're happy to do that, but it does take time. But also with that, like Lynn said, right now, you know, that it's tough to do too much on the affiliate side because our products aren't loaded. Yes, they're in the shop, and I'll show you that in a minute, but they're not loaded to the point where you can direct people to buy them. Because we still wanted to make sure that you, you know, you get as many sales as you can in the current system to maximize your commissions for that. So next week, it's going to become like, okay, we're ready to do this now, and you guys will kind of close down what I would argue is your current way of doing business, and then really start focusing on the new.
Right. And Donna has a question here. Is this training available to co-op people who may want to transition to affiliate? Absolutely. One of the things we want to emphasize, we've talked about it on some of the Zoom calls and some of my Tuesday talk, is everything does not have to happen before the end of October. You all are already a Creative Co-op member. You just log on to spellbinders.com and come November 1st, funstampersjourney.com, you log in and you're going to be able to receive your discount. You can use that for your own personal use, but you can also use that same login information to place orders on behalf of your customers. You receive the difference of what they pay you for retail, and you keep the difference, and that's what you get paid, all right? But you might not be interested in going into the affiliate program right now. Don't feel you need to do this by the end of before October ends. You can do this next year if you want. This is an available program for you. It's certainly a viable income monetization for your business, but you do not have to do it now. But to answer your question, Donna, absolutely. The training will transition you. You can do it now or you can do it later. All it is a matter, because affiliate marketing is somewhat new to a lot of people, but I kind of share with you, for those of you who've been doing a little bit of marketing, it's very similar to what you've already been doing maybe with some of the blogs. You've just been connecting your products to the Journey shop right now, right? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to use an affiliate link instead of taking people to your Journey Premium site, okay? It's basically the same thing, but yes, the training will walk you through that process, and I have a lot of training coming up.
So related to that, I did want to show really quickly, this is the last thing I have, or that we have, and then of course we're happy to hang on and answer questions. But I did want to show that for those of you that maybe have a pretty, it doesn't have to be a strong blog, it has a strong blog or Pinterest or something like that. One of the worst things in the world is to have what are called dead links. So if you have a blog out there and you're directing the products to the current funstampersjourney.com, that URL, that address will not be relevant come November 1. And so while it will, and by the way, guys, this affects us too. Like all of our Pinterest posts, all of our Instagrams, all of our YouTube videos, all point to that shop. So we're doing this cleanup on our site as well. But this is why we've loaded the FSJ products. Now that not everything's out there, but a lot of FSJ products are out there now. And the reason that we've done that now is A, so that we can QA it and see that, you know, Wiggle Eyes looks really stupid in the shop the way it is. We need to fix that. So we can provide QA for this, but also so that you can start kind of cleaning up those links. So for example, if you use the Yummy Dots embossing folder, you can click on that and then grab this URL up here and then redirect now any references to
You're then going to take this link right here. It's not a link yet. You're going to take this URL. You're going to go into your Share a Sale site. This is a high overview. You're going to go into your Share a Sale site. You're going to create a custom link. It's super simple. And you're going to copy this here, paste it into the custom link generator, and then you push create a link. Then you grab that link and you post it.
And that link will say Spellbinders Paper Arts Yummy Dots embossing folder / gibberish, and that gibberish
is connected specifically to you. For those of you who've been like, well, how do I get my customers to be able to buy from me if I no longer have my Journey Premium site? This is how it works. Yeah. Either they're going to order from you by contacting you personally, and you put the order in through your Creative Co-op account, or you do the affiliate program. You create a link by grabbing this, putting it into the link generator into the Share a Sale site, I know it may sound like a little overwhelming, but Carol and I, as Carol said, we chatted, and Carol, you have your homework assignment. We walked through it, and she said, oh, okay, this makes sense. Once you see it, and I'm going to put a video together so you'll see it along with PDFs as well. It's really actually super simple. There is certainly a learning curve to this whole process, but it's really super simple to create the affiliate links.
Absolutely. But this is also, guys, just to kind of point out that if an item is out of stock, okay, obviously the reason it says out of stock now is because we want everyone buying through the current site. But if an item is out of stock, then you enter your email address to be notified when the item's in stock, and then when it comes in stock, you automatically get a, hey, Yummy Dots is in stock if you want to purchase it. So pretty cool little service there. Okay, so I think that's literally all we had. I know the biggie, I know it was really boring for some of you, the tax talk, but that was something that was keeping a lot of people up at night, including me. So hopefully that was helpful.
We know that it was long, and we started seeing the antsiness. Can we just move on? And we appreciate that. We totally respect your time, but we knew this one is going to be a little bit longer because of the misunderstandings, and we wanted to make sure there was clarification. And that tax one was really big. We just had a lot to cover.
Yeah, Kathy's asking, will you still have monthly Bloomcast meetings? And I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know Lynn is talking about continuing her Tuesday talks, keeping the FSHA crafted business page.
I'm going to create that poll.
So yeah, we're going to kind of see if that works for us, for you, more to the point. So we'll see. You know, a lot of things are obviously not defined yet, and we're trying to listen and be as reactive to your needs as we can. Of course, within 24 hours in a day. So, okay, so that's all we have. So if you're like someone who's feeling good about things, you can peace out. If you are someone who has a few burning questions, we are going to switch over to a different thing, but I think we just stay on this.
I think we just and start typing. We're just going to kind of wait a little while. You've been sending questions in to us, and hopefully we've caught each of those. But if we happen to miss one, go ahead and retype it in because there's a whole scroll of pictures. Of questions to go through. So go ahead and retype in your question if you happen to have it. Again, this is being recorded. Obviously, it's going to be quite long, but if you replay it, you can always scroll through a lot of it. But we feel that there's a lot of value that we've covered here. If you do have someone who you're currently working with and they're like, I don't understand this tax thing, have them, watch the replay and scroll through all the, stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that obviously we've covered.
Okay, we're getting some questions. So Cindy asked, will we get co-op newsletters? Yeah, you will. And so, if some of you already are on the Spellbinders newsletter list, you'll see that kind of the general ones, but we also will have some that go to certain co-op members. Again, remember I mentioned those customer groups before? Creative co-op members are in their own little group. So actually 10 different groups or 8 different groups. So yeah, you might get newsletters that give you sneak peeks about what's coming up or special offers just for you. Yeah.
But I also want to add to the fact that a lot of, because of the transitioning, a lot of what happens is online. So the newsletters will obviously be sent to your email and will give you updates. But if you're not currently in the new Creative Co-op group, I encourage you to request to be a part of that group, because a lot of interactions are going to go on there, and answering questions and being able to share within the community and get inspiration. And a lot of things, we're going to go to the Facebook group. I know that in our current system, a lot of people were like, well, you need to make sure, there's a lot of people who don't do Facebook, and we realize that. So we would always put everything in the coach dashboard. First, I can assure you, we always put it there first. I made sure that because I did realize that we had non-Facebook or social media individuals. And then we would post many of the things in the coach community, Coach Connection, okay? But with this transition, yes, there'll be some newsletters, but your most up-to-date interactions are likely going to be on Facebook. Would you agree? Because we don't have a dashboard in the same way. So a lot of that is going to be there. So I would encourage you to be a part of that group. If you're not on Facebook yet, you might want to consider creating a sample profile and just use it just for that if you don't want to participate in the other items.
Cool. So Janice, you stated this, but I think hopefully it was a question. There will be no more Friday. No, Friday will continue.
So
as well T3. Yeah. And again, for some of you may have seen, I put something out there where concepting kind of a potentially third. It may not be weekly, but it will be another thing. The YouTube channel is not going away. Our Instagram's not going away. Our Facebook page
You'll
is not
still
going
have
away.
all of the same inspiration.
All the social media.
And more because we're connected with Spellbinders.
Our gallery is going to be so much better than it is now. It's already loaded with beautiful projects. So, yeah, Chrissy Brisbane, what is the time frame we should allow for our orders after November 1? That, my darling, is $1 million question. And for those of you that looked at our Insta story last week, I didn't do anything. The warehouse team worked all weekend to basically reorganize the entire warehouse to create one massive pick line with both brands in it, and they're working under that right now. The reality, though, is that come November 1, it will be a change in how we batch and ship our orders, and there probably will be a bit of a delay. I also expect a spike on the 1st of orders, much like we saw at the end of September. So, our goal is going to be to get orders out of the warehouse within 72 hours. Right now, the Spellbinders time frame is 4 to 7 days. They often beat that, but that's the policy. And so we are working to shorten that and looking at ways to optimize. But really, until we're live, all products are live, I can't tell you yet. But for those first couple weeks, guys, plan for it. Black Friday is going to be massive as well, so plan for that. There is no expedited shipping options right now on the web store on the Spellbinder side, or basically our new web store, so plan for that as well. Helen, how will we know about monthly sales if we don't have a Bloomcast? So you will know about, and they're not always going to be monthly. If you've read the FAQ, sometimes they'll be weekly sales. Sometimes they will be our flash sales. Sometimes they'll be monthly promotions. So that's where it's going to be really critical to be on that newsletter and seeing that stuff.
So that will be email-wise, and then of course we'll do our best to keep the online Facebook group updated.
And sometimes
as well.
you may know before your customers, and sometimes you may know at the same time as your customers. If your customers are subscribers to, the Spellbinders/FSJ newsletter, it will become one big mail. I don't know what I'm trying to say, list come soon. But
so can I just want to kind of emphasize, because these are great questions. So come November 1st, we have this great community, the Creative Co-op community, that will continue forward. But we're not going to have the same communication processes. So we're going to keep you as informed as we can, as up to date as possible. But it is a different business model.
It's a different model.
Yeah.
It is. Mary Kay, how long will Coach Connection Facebook page be available? As per the FAQ, it will be available, we said through the end of the year, but then it'll be archived, so you can still access it.
That's good. I did not know, because people were asking about all the inspiration on there. So that's good.
It may be archived sooner. I don't know. The challenge is really, we're going to have to step out of it from a, I know you guys tag us a lot. I'm going to probably kick Lynn and Kim and everyone else out of it in middle of November, once we kind of get to the last few orders and stuff going through, because it has been used before as like a support page, and we're happy to do that during this transition. But moving forward, we kind of need to get back to our best practice, which is contacting coach support for things. But happy to do it now. I totally get it. But Mary Kay, you'll still have access to the inspiration stuff even after we archive it. Jean, do you get an email from ShareASale whenever someone purchases through your affiliate link? Do you?
Yes. So ShareASale has a very robust program, and there's so much information. If you're already an approved affiliate, I encourage you, just like with anything, when we go to school, when we're learning a new skill or something, it takes some time. And I know I don't have time. Well, sometimes to really learn it well, we just need to take some time. So I encourage you to set a little bit of time out of either each day or once a week or whatever, and go through your ShareASale product. There's so many trainings available just on that side alone. The answer to your question is yes, they do provide that. It's a very robust, as I mentioned, and they get you up to date. But I'm going to encourage you as a business owner to, on a regular basis, you put it on in your planner and say, I'm going to check my affiliate sales on a regular basis. I get a lot of emails. So now I've created a new email account because everything gets lost in there. If you're like me on that, you might want to create yourself a new email system so that those contacts that you get from ShareASale don't get lost. But yes, they do contact you when a sale happens, but I encourage you to log in on a regular basis to see how your information is tracking. They have a really great, you know, if somebody has viewed your link and clicked your link, they may not have purchased, but those are analytics that you're going to want to keep an eye on so that you can, you know, the test marketing that I mentioned we'll talk about, you're going to want to test that as well. So you want to log in on a regular basis. Bottom line to your question is, yes, they do communicate with you. Yeah.
Jane, you wrote no emailing our orders in, and honestly, Jane, you shouldn't be doing that now. So I did find out some things today Coach Support's doing. I'm like, that breaks our policy, but I know they're just trying to provide good service to you guys. So yeah, that shouldn't be happening now.
Yeah, you'll everything, and the system is so much easier now. Truly.
It is. That's the one thing.
So I think that's gonna, you know, it's gonna be different for those who are like a little overwhelmed with the event ordering system.
Sure.
You know, or opening it up an event and yada yada. It's gonna be a lot easier because it's just if you order anything online, it doesn't matter. Add to my cart, and then check out.
Check it out.
Here's my credit card.
Here's my credit card. Karen, name of the new group.
Oh, okay, great question. The name of the group is called Creative Co-op. Now, when you received an email, you should have received your email around the 15th of October that gave your Creative Co-op credentials and everything. There was a link to that particular group as well. I also have it in a couple of places. When I did my Tuesday talk, Karen, if you're on FSJ Craft Your Business, I put a link there. But I can go ahead and put another link. If I don't see your request, you know, within the next 24 hours, I'll put it out there again so you can easily find it. But it's called Creative Co-op. It's a closed group. You can still search for it, but I have to approve each individual. Oh, this is good. Are you looking for it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Can I see this? Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, you can see everything. Look at that. 11 people want in, Lynn.
I know.
Guys, I'm not an admin. I have no power in this group. I love it.
Actually, I think you are because you can see this. So I did admin you. I did admin you. But I'm approving all of them because I want to make sure that I account for everyone.
I love it.
So anyways, and I approve them as quickly as I can throughout the day. Someone had asked how long does it take for the approvals. I did wait over the weekend. I didn't do any on Saturday. But Sunday I made sure because they come throughout the day. I can approve a whole bunch, and then a second later I get another one. So I kind of check it throughout the day. And obviously you guys have been busy requesting. So Karen, if you can't find it, I will link it again.
Okay, Lauren, I may have missed this. If you were a subscriber to Bloombox, the November box was shipped yet? Yes, it has. If you haven't received yours, there might have been an issue processing your subscription, so please contact Coach Support. Another reason why I'm excited to get out of our current system. Helen, question answered. Facebook yet? Okay, Christy, how does Spellbinder ship UPS only? No, they use UPS and USPS like we do. They do things just a little bit differently. So we're gonna work through it. I'm learning too. I'll be honest with you. The biggest challenge was getting the warehouse moved. And then I get to put my sneakers on next week and go kind of audit and see how it all works. And Mark already has a bunch of ideas about ways we can pick up the pace. Remember, they ship internationally. Internationally causes a lot more paperwork. They also ship to Spellbinders ships to retailers as well. So that also causes more complications. So it's a busy place. There's a lot going on back there. All right, Karen, we already answered that. Betty. I think our new way of ordering is going to be harder. Yeah, I would encourage you, Jane, to go out to Spellbinders Paper Arts right now and look at, just click through and go through placing an order. You don't have to transact it, and I think you'll find the contrary, to be honest with you. But try it and see. Obviously, submitting for Journey Rewards is going to be more manual, no question, but the actual shopping experience should be better.
Right, and I contend to that and agree with that as well. If you're putting in an order as and wanting to receive the Creative Co-op, I apologize, the Journey Rewards, it is going to take some additional work. But that's one of the perks / benefits of the transition. We wanted to afford you the opportunity to receive those Journey Rewards and have those available to you. And it's the only way that we could, because the new system is not set up for that in any way. So that might be a little bit bulky, but I think the system itself is pretty straightforward. Just clicking through.
Betty, I just signed up for the Bloom box. We'll get October, November, as someone suggested on Coach Connection. But you said earlier I should get an email about the Bloom box. The emails went to customers who didn't get an opportunity to get their subscription. So it was just to kind of let them know how to get it. If you're talking about getting access to the video that Kim did, because I sent that out just really as a bulk to people who process on the 15th. I'm going to do another one probably next week for the people who ordered it between the 15th and next week, and you'll get that with the link to Kim's video. If you have a colleague though or someone has it, they can share that link with you, but it is a private or unlisted link. Janice, will FSJ end up in retail stores? Janice, right now there are no plans to offer FSJ to retailers. So will that change? Maybe, I don't know. But right now, there's no plans for that. So, so no. What did I just see? Jean, as I looked over the site today, I noticed that the stamp sets that come with dies don't show that a die is available. Will that change? So this is one of the things, this is where the kind of the optimization is going to come in. Getting the items up in the shop is step one, but then making them look the way we want is step two. So I think, Jean, what you're kind of talking about as an example is like, here's the, see, this has text, and I wrote it that says, oh, view full details. Haha! I'm like, where is it? So the information is there, but we all know people don't read, right? So Kim and I were talking about changing these graphics to say like coordinating die available or something like that actually on the picture. Obviously there's, you know, several hundred of these graphics that need to be touched, but that's the plan for that. Also showing one of our little thumbnails here would kind of show what the stamp coordinating die look like. So long term, that's the plan. We have a ton of flexibility in this system to be able to add thumbnails and different things, but right now, yeah, you have to read.
So I have a question, because just like with any system that is transitioning and there's going to be new things, and we are excited about, you know, this potentially being an easier system,
yeah,
in compared to what we currently have, because there was, you know, different things. It's going to potentially take some time.
Yeah. So
would you suggest that if someone sees something that might be a little bit, you know, like this is not showcasing well, what would you suggest they might do?
Well, it's tough because like right now I know it.
You're aware of those
I don't want to
things.
hear it, guys, but like I know it, and I just
Okay.
don't want my inbox to be flooded with like, you know, yes, I know. Because there are some, like, I'll give you another example of something, and it's so funny because Kim came in, and you know, Kim is the visual queen, and she goes, Nicole, I said, I know. It's just a matter of, you know, getting the photography in the queue to do it. So here's a perfect example, guys, of where am I going? I'm going to inks and coloring. I'm going to embossing powders. Okay, check this out. So look at our embossing powders. Okay, wow, this one looks big. Do I get more with this one than I do with this one? You see my mouth? Yeah. No, it's the same size. Things like that. All these little polishes that we need to do, we will do in time. It's just a matter of having the time to do it. The most important thing, honestly, for me personally, is to get everything up and to get the shop running as it should, and make sure you guys all have your Creative Co-op discounts and all those things for November 1. And then it's really just going to be optimize, 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 optimize. So I will say that come December 1st, if you still see stuff, let me know. If you see stuff that's flat out wrong, and I'm talking to you, Mary Director, if you're on the call, you know, pricing's wrong or SKU's goofy or description's wrong, definitely shoot a note over to Journey Crew and we'll get it fixed. But I will tell you, we've been working on trying to improve our descriptions and stuff for several weeks, and so I'm hopeful that it's good. But we do know we have ways to definitely optimize. And I have 277 project images still yet to add to this as secondary images that I just haven't had time to do.
So Nancy has a question. So there will no longer be stamp and die bundles.
I didn't have a presentation either.
Well, it's a good thing she asked the question.
I'm so glad you asked that, Nancy.
Yes.
So the answer is no. There will not be that kind of BD SKU for what I'll call one-to-one bundles. What will happen is that once you add both to the cart, so if you add the gnomes stamp and you add the gnomes die, then it will take 10% off once they're both in your cart. But right now, and that's something that has to be communicated as well because people don't know that. But you can definitely let your customers know that. You'll just enter it a little bit differently. And that's really for inventory management purposes to have better visibility to the inventory.
So let me ask you this. I'm just going to ask you because I don't know.
The discount on
yes, ma'am. That's my next question.
I think so, because those are product level discounts and you guys have cart level discounts.
And that's not going to change. So that's different than what we were talking about, it changing from a kit price.
Correct.
This is different. So if they combined it together based off what you said, they get that 10%. The cart says, oh, you added these together, you get 10%.
Yeah.
And then their entire cart discount will be based off a Creative Co-op discount.
I think so. We have to program it.
We're working
on that. As I say that, I'm like, that's a cart. I know. I
just wanted to make sure because I knew the question was going to be coming.
Okay, guys. What else we got?
Let's see. So Jeannie says, good to know. We can refer to the catalog for now. But I was thinking of the future. If there's no catalog, it is rather confusing to see if there's a die that matches the stamp set. So I think, and that's part of the optimization that down the road where we have so much flexibility within this system to potentially even write, to put correlating dies and, and write those little snippets.
And make it, because it's in there right now. It's in the words, but nobody reads.
Right, so we're visual.
The key is to make it a graphic, and of course, to make it a graphic requires the graphics team to be touching every single one of these things. And to be perfectly honest with you guys right now, I have them focused on, we have pictures here, and I have them focused on getting the new site ready. And then we'll swing back and start working on the optimization of things.
So we have Eagle Eye Tiffany here saying, I think I just saw you scroll past a discontinued item. It is the change purse with the yellow pom-poms right there.
No, everything says out of stock right now because we don't have the inventory connected to this. And because
so this was never a discontinued, just for clarification, never a discontinued.
I wonder if you saw the yellow dot and it's not yellow dot. I don't know. No,
Well, there you go, Tiffany. You get to order it once it's available on the 1st through this site. So Annette, am I correct that I was automatically enrolled in the Creative Rewards program? So we didn't mention anything about the Creative Rewards program.
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. As part of the Creative Co-op, you also are part of the Creative Rewards program. They kind of connect together. They go hand in hand. So as you continue to place orders, whether you place them personally for yourself or you place orders, your customer orders inside your Creative Co-op using your discount, those sales are going to continue to increase, and those sales will earn you Creative Rewards points that you can in turn turn around and purchase products as well.
Cool.
So yeah, you automatically. So yes, you were correct.
If you were new, you got 20% right.
That's true. And there's other ways. For those of you who may not have checked around, there's ways to get, just being new, you got points, and for sharing on Facebook. I'm not sure how that all is captured. It takes a little while for them to grab everything, but then if you share on Facebook, if you share on the social media.
If you go in and see this Creative Rewards, guys, you click on it, you're logged in. It's earn more points. Booyah. And you can just
there you go. That's pretty darn easy.
I mean,
because it automatically just connects to your.
So, I'm going to like it and share on Facebook. Check. 50 points.
Dang. I like
share
it.
small matters of it. Anyways, you get the idea.
All right, so Janice is saying good night. I know it's late for many of you. Thanks for staying with us, Janice, for everyone.
Okay, Betty, are we going to have mini releases and mini catalogs for those that follow your heart? This is addressed also in the FAQ, and the catalog piece is a little fuzzy, but the actual releases themselves, we're actually going to have more releases than we did in the past. They're just going to be smaller, so it'll be smaller, more frequent. So rather than launch a big doozy of a catalog in July, we might do a mini collection in February and another mini collection in April and another little something or other in June. Still working through all that, but we'll still release new catalog, new products and new releases. Catalog, actual physical printing, still TBD. We hear you, we know it's important. As you can imagine, the cost of putting that catalog together is pretty substantial for us and for all of you. So if we do it, it will be different than what you're used to, but still with be a nice little offering for your customers. So not sure yet, but heard you loud and clear how important it is. And one thing I'll say, guys, I know that FAQ that we posted on the transition page is 14 glorious pages, but if you have a question, chances are it's in the FAQ. So just go Control F, find it, and type it in, and
It's true. Most of the questions that we've had, not necessarily here tonight, but here tonight, and in Coach Connection, and any of the other areas, they are in the FAQ.
We added, after all the Zoom calls, we added the stuff that kept coming up. So it's a really good resource. Or maybe you heard it and you forgot, that happens. There's a lot to
There's a lot of information, a lot of new
maybe
stuff.
you can go back and reread it now that you're almost a month later. It might sink in a bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to digest information if you have more knowledge about it to.
So Betty, yes, the Follow Your Heart items will be available beyond. The plan right now is definitely to have them available through the catalog, the traditional catalog here of June 30. Some may live on. We'll see how they sell, and make a call after that week.
Did you answer the February one?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm sorry.
No, it's hard to read.
I was busy.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
So I'm scrolling, and we are up. Thanks for the 6x6 pads. You're welcome. I asked for last year. We did. We heard you, Betty, and we said, Betty wants 6x6, and you're so welcome. And everyone else got to have the enjoyment. The 6x6 have been popular. But there was a period of time where they weren't necessarily selling. So we know you want them, but everything is going to be based off of how it sells. So we're glad to bring it back.
So Betty, spread the love. And sell it.
That's right.
Cool.
All right. So it looks like we're down to our, we don't have any more questions. And hopefully this has been informational. I know it's been long. We knew it was going to be long. You can go back and look at it again if you're like, oh my gosh, I fell asleep during part of it. Understood. Share with your teammates. They can scroll through if there's something they specifically want to address and find out about. But we wanted to make sure we answered your questions. We knew there was all kinds out there, and hopefully we've covered the biggest one, of course, was the use tax and the nexus. And hopefully we explained that to you, that you have a little more understanding about that. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's been around for quite some time. We've
educated now, I guess.
Right. Now we're informed. But FSJ is working hard to make sure that we offer our transitioning coaches the best program that we can have available, specifically designed for you, so that you can use this and continue to offer this as a business building platform, either through the Creative Co-op program or the affiliate program as well. So we hope that those. And
last question: where was this going to be posted?
You know what? I think we should put it on the transition page, because under the transition tab, because that's where the newest go-to stuff is.
Probably won't be posted until tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got to render it, and it's pretty long. So as you know, thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. We know it was long. It's time for many of us to close up and put our. Hopefully the kitties are to bed.
We're still here though. So if you have additional questions, we're absolutely still here. We're going to all usher together. Because we're better together. This is getting crazy. All right, thanks guys.
All right, thank you everyone. Have a great evening and rest of the week.